I have been thinking a lot about this week, and so I ask you, what are you taking for granted? I'll tell you more, and I don't share any of this for any extra sympathy or um, to overshare, but I'm sharing what's been on my mind this week that I think there's some real sincere, productive application. So, um, last week, um, for those of you not familiar with sort of my full story and background, but I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I served a mission for my church 25 years plus years ago in Brazil. My son, for the last 2 years, has been serving in Ecuador. So my wife and I went down to Ecuador last week to pick him up and bring him home. And so there's a picture of us meeting him where he was going to church. So it was now it's almost been 10 days ago, but almost 2 weeks ago, actually. Um, and so as I've been thinking a lot about him, and so we got home this week on Tuesday, trying to track all the dates properly. And I know as I've thought about this, man, I took being close to him, hugging him, telling him I love him for granted. Yes, I talk to him almost every week, but there was lots of times where I just I just wanted to spend some time and I wanted to hug him. And so my first is, who or what are you taking for granted that you maybe are um, you need to pause and say, man, I need to tell this person how much I love them. I need to give them a hug. If this is a parent or a sibling or a spouse, etc. So what then rolled into, so we got home on Tuesday, and Bella, for those of you who know my daughter Bella's story, it hasn't quite been 2 years since her heart transplant, and honestly, overall, she's done miraculous. And she started feeling sick on Monday. We got home on Tuesday. She was wiped out, um, and then Wednesday was admitted to the hospital. I'm recording this on Friday, so she's already been in the hospital 2 nights. And as I spent a full 24-hour period in the hospital, I started to think a lot about this, taking for granted. I have taken the simp this the simple what am I trying to say? The simple nature of and blessing and beauty and how great just life at home is. Um, for anyone that spent any amount of time in the hospital and splitting up your family, and it's really, really hard. And so my challenge to each of you, independent of your situation, independent of life dynamics, etc., is to pause and ask yourself, what am I taking for granted? And as I've kind of been pondering and journaling this concept this week, um, I think just simple gratitude, um, simple moments of acknowledgement, recognition, you know, expressing appreciation, and all these things. Just and that it's sad that it takes sometimes challenges to reflect on, wow, things are pretty good, things were really good, and and in adversity you need to be mindful of and look for the good and find moments to be grateful. So it's my challenge for each of you this week. um, be in gratitude, live in gratitude, have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.